All right, just want to give you a better look at this. Of course I kick the camera. It's what I do. I'm not professional. And I'm like Tony Robbins. I just bring the best information in the world together. I don't think it up myself. Ha ha ha. Okay, so it's been cut with the chainsaw that far. You can do four. You can do an X, or you can 2 cuts or 3 cuts. And I'm gonna put some kindling down in the center. You don't want to overdo it. Steve and I once stuffed so much kindling into one of these that it actually wouldn't light because there was no oxygen, obviously. So you don't want to overdo it. I'm going to use a little fat wood, a little sap, and a few twigs. You do not need to use fat wood for this. You can just use twigs. But I'm not trying to show how to start a fire. I'm trying to see what happens when I do my Swedish fire torch traditional style in the solo fire pit. I was told that the reason this type of fire was invented was because you can stand it up in the snow and still have a fire. Which, oh, by the way, I am going to cook on it. Not a steak like I would have liked to, but I'm definitely going to do a soft-boiled egg, which I love, if I can get that right. But in any case, you can imagine you could stand this thing in the snow and cook on it. It's what I call transfer fire. Man, I'm sure glad I gave my disclaimer early that I'm not professional, because it may have already blown out. Well, not blown out, but gone out. Huh. Somebody needs to go back to fire lighting school. He doesn't know what he's doing. All I know is when I first got into playing with bushcrafty type stuff was that cotton rounds was like the hot thing. So I have a lot of cotton rounds. All right. If you watch any of my videos, no, you'd probably have to watch 3 of them, but you know I love that pine sap. Oh my god. Can you smell that? Smell that. Oh my god, it's better than the fat wood. I don't know if I want to put it on there because I don't need to. think I'm going to throw it on a little later, or maybe I'll just put it in one spot. Well, if I do, you'll see that that side burns the best. All right, let's go El Natural and speed this puppy up. El Natural meaning no, I'm not going to use the sap. Oh, maybe I'll just put it on my nightstand, sleep next to it. It smells so good. All right, official start time 4:16, 4:17 as far as actually sparking the spark. So let's see what happens. It's become sadly apparent that as hard as I tried to keep this log dry underneath, I kept it underneath my barbecue, which has the barbecue tarp on it. It's gotten, looking like it's gotten pretty wet, so I am going to use the sap to help out. I don't even know if it can be fixed. Or it was an oxygen thing, I don't know. Okay, I'm going to take some sap, try and stab it with some fat wood, make a bushcraft knife. Knife? Oh my, a bushcraft match. See how it dripped like melting plastic? This is more Insano than Drano. I mean, who knows if it's gonna, the whole dang thing might be just too wet. What a bummer. All right. That sap is so awesome. If it doesn't work, well, then there's no salvaging. I mean, I don't even know if that log. Well, I guess it'll dry out this summer, and I'll make the video then. Oh man. All right. I really want you to see how this works. Let's get back here. I know there's a lot of Swedish fire torch videos on YouTube. That's where I learned. Like I said, if I do something new, and I think my Swedish fire torch with a bunch of store-bought logs in the solo fire pit the other night was new. I think that might have been a first, but I don't think there's too many firsts on YouTube, so I will not claim anything that I don't think that I did first. In any case, I wanted you to get a look at it, how it's burning down inside. It's going to be great to cook on. You probably could put something on there right now, but my pan is a little bit small. I wanted you to see how this works and see, this is why you don't want to be cramming a bunch of kindling in there, because that's the only source of oxygen for these. Look, it's not burning that well on this side. And because this wood was so dampish, it was huge that I had the sap to put in there. Just look at that. Just look at it. And it always seems to burn. Look how it's burning, more to the right than to the left. Every piece of wood seems to do that. Look at what looks like that melted sap right there. It's leaking out of the other piece of wood because that wood was on the sap. Oh, I love that stuff. All right. One thing I did want to mention, I don't know that the solo fire pit is going to come into play at all. The sides it's not warm at all. Even the inside metal isn't hot. It may not come into play. Maybe it'll come into play when it gets late in the burn. And then this thing, when it gets late in the burn, not much happens. You get down to the base, that first 4 inches that the chainsaw didn't cut into, and those 6 pillars will, kind of be like burnt out arches, and not much goes on. So maybe that will help the Swedish fire torch last longer than what I've seen in the past, because it'll burn better when it gets low. For the moment, nothing's going on except for it being a Swedish fire torch. But we'll see. We'll see how long it lasts, and we will boil some eggs on it. All right, this is obviously going to go for a while. It is now 4:55. So when I say it started at 4:16, 4:17, let's say 4:15, and then my watch is fast. It's about half an hour. Half an hour to get here, 30 minutes. And my hand is warm, but not hot. So this is not a heat your surroundings fire. But let's go ahead and try and cook something. This would be great with any kind of flat pan. Let's see. Oh God, ouch. So, probably gonna melt the plastic on those handles anyway. All right, so right there where that piece of wood is, obviously, in between the flames. So we got to get this baby to a boil. Daddy wants some soft-boiled eggs tonight. All right. A little more perspective here from my Amazon tripod that actually I'm really happy with. All right. So, ran over and soaked them in cold water. Got my Old Bay right here. Oh man, hold on, my hands are so dirty. The egg's still very warm. Okay. All right, there we go. Let's see. It's an almost. Oh, there's a little bit of runny there. Okay. Next time, 7.5 minutes. But, the Old Bay sprinkled on there. I don't know why my hand looks so dirty, but perfection. All right, as I was saying, I don't know if the solo fire pit's going to come into play. Okay, well, it's hot around the top, but you obviously can't see any of the beautiful fingers of fire that come in. So I'm going to leave it to burn and see what happens. All right, so that is 1 hour, give or take 5 minutes. I'm going to pause the camera for a while and come back. All right, well, the solo fire pit is not coming into play at all, it seems. Oh, well, what do you do? Every 10 minutes recorded in hyperspeed is 5 seconds. No, I take that back. Every minute is 5 seconds. So I'm going to put on Hyperloop and I'm going to record an hour, see what happens. All right, it's been 2 hours and the solo fire pit never came into play. Look at that. I could throw some stuff in there, but look at that. That sucker didn't even, you can't even knock him down. Didn't truly burn. All right, well, what we have now is this giant chunk of base at the bottom that probably only the solo fire pit will be able to take care of. So I'm gonna have to light a fire here tomorrow. Let this sucker get taken care of. Thanks for watching.